Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Excuse the different location, the lighting I'm not sure about, but I'm wanting to film in a different spot this time. And the background's not the best, but at least you can see my bookshelf. That corner is a little dark, but we're just gonna go with it. Today is my March wrap up. I read 11 books in March. Well, I say I read 11. I finished 11. 2 or 3 are ones that I had started last month and carried over into this month, but I'm still counting them as read in March. So very happy about that because February I only finished 2, so yeah. Anyways, let's just go ahead and jump right in. The first book that I finished in March was The Pursuit of God by A.W. Tozer. Super short nonfiction, but I loved this so much. I read this for a class that I take every Tuesday here in Colorado, and we basically, in this class, we do a book report on it and you get to hear everybody's perspective, and I just absolutely loved it. It is a classic at this point, pretty much, and it's about pursuing God and different ways of pursuing God, and it convicted me, it challenged me, and I just highly recommend this book. I gave that one 5 stars, by the way. The next book I finished was The Read Aloud Family by Sarah Mackenzie. I'd started this in March, and I gave it 3 stars. It's, how do I explain this? It's kind of her journey learning about the importance of reading aloud, and I did highlight like quite a few interesting things, but it just wasn't life-changing, and I don't have kids. But I still was like super interested in it, and it was good. I just kind of got bored some of the time, and I was like, okay, you're kind of being a little bit repetitive. But one thing I did enjoy was at the end, the last few chapters of the book are book lists for read alouds for different age groups, and so I appreciated that, and I think I got some recommendations. But overall, not life-changing. I love this cover. Like, I just think it's really cool. And who knows, maybe I'll come back to this someday when I actually have children, but it was just okay. The next book is A Rose Remembered by Michael Phillips, book number 2 in the Secret of the Rose series. Oh my goodness. This book was so good. I have so many tabs. I was stressed, I was happy, I was sad, I had all the emotions, and I can't even tell you what the book is about because it's book 2, and that would just like give spoilers. Let's just say I want you to read the first book, and then when you get done with the first book, I want you to come read this book. And I cannot wait to read book 3 and finish the series with book 4. It's phenomenal. The faith content, the everything is just chef's kiss. So beautiful. 5 stars all day long. The next book I read this in one night. It took me maybe 20 minutes to read, but that is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. I think I gave it 5 stars. I love this book. It's so cute, and it has just cute little sayings, and it's kind of a story, but not really. It's more of like just cute little quotes, and I don't know. It's just so cute. Tears fall for a reason, and they are your strength, not your weakness. So many cute, adorable little life lessons, and I just think this is beautiful, and I will probably go through this many times in my lifetime. Y'all ready for a cry fest? Okay, I got you. The 5th book I read this month was a reread, and I cried so much again the second time. That is Beneath a Southern Sky by Deborah Rainey. I very, very rarely hear people talking about this author, and I feel like this was published in like the early 2000s. Copyright 2001. So she's still writing books though, because the 3rd book in this series just came out last year, and I haven't read it yet. I've read book 2, also loved it, but this is book 1, Beneath the Southern Sky, 5 stars. I don't know how to tell you about this without spoiling something, but basically, Daria Camfield lives in South America with her husband Nate, and he goes away. He is a doctor, and he goes away on a trip to a different village one day, and he doesn't come back, and his companions come back to the village and inform Daria that her husband has died in a fire. They said they found his body and that everyone in the building died. Well, Daria moves back to the States and gets a new job, and she meets someone and falls in love. And then the story goes on from there, and I'm not gonna say anything else because this book took me through it. But anyways, I love this book so much. The next book I read was The Courtship of the Vicar's Daughter by Lawana Blackwell, book 2 in the Gresham Chronicles, and I loved this. I like this even better than the first book. I loved the characters so much. It is about, how can I explain this without spoiling the first book? But it's about the vicar's daughter and her little love story journey, and also the vicar's family, and just, it feels like, I said this the last time I talked about this series, but it feels like I'm watching a TV show that is just good and wholesome, and I love it. Definitely slower pace. I actually read this in a vlog that I posted a few weeks ago, so highly recommend. The next book I read was Who Brings Forth the Wind by Lori Wick, the 3rd book in the Kensington Chronicles. Oh my goodness, I read a lot of series this month. Like, most of my books were series. Anyways, I loved this. This is about Stacy and her, it's kind of her marriage journey. I don't know if that's how you would say, but basically she falls in love very soon at the beginning of the book, and they get married close to the beginning. And so I was like, how is this gonna work? Because usually, you know, the book is about them falling in love and then getting married at the end, and that's not how this was. And I like watching couples' marriages progress. Like, I like when they're married in the beginning sometimes. So it's just very interesting, and I love the writing in this book, and 5 stars. Okay, so I took a break to take some Starbucks to some friends, so the angle might be different, I don't know. But the next book that I have to talk about, I don't know really if I want to talk about it. I mean, I do, but I don't. I wanted to love this book, and I thought I was going to. And I ended up giving it 3.75. That is Love and the Silver Lining by Tammy Gray. I read Love and a Little White Lie by Tammy Gray and really, really enjoyed it, which is the first book in this series. I have thoughts. Let me see if I have my thoughts together. Okay, first of all, the best friend relationship in this book is too much between a guy and a girl. It's too much. Like, I was mad because they had ended past relationships because the person they were dating was concerned that they were too close, and then okay, the guy's name is, the best friend dude's name is Cameron, and the girl's name is Darcy. They're best friends. They've been best friends since they were children. Okay, cool, wonderful. But when they would date other people, they told the people they were dating that the people, like, they couldn't come between them two, and that they were gonna stay best friends, and like, they ended up choosing between the person they were dating and the best friend, and they chose the best friend. And I was like, that is not how this should work. This is not how it should go. But anyways, it was interesting. It was the main character dude wasn't really like my cup of tea. He was fine. There were some sweet moments and some things, and the faith content was lacking for me. And I'm really sad I didn't love it because I love this cover. Anyways, 3.75 stars. It wasn't terrible, but I had some issues with it. This could have very easily just been a secular book and not marketed as, I mean, it's marketed as contemporary romance. It's published by Bethany House. I feel like it does have some faith content, but it could have just been a normal secular book. And then moving on. The next book. I knew one of my new favorites. The Lady and the Lionheart by Joanne Biscoff, I think is her name. 5 stars. 6 stars. This book had me in a chokehold. It had me needing more. It was the writing was my kind of writing. The faith content, the story, the ending. Like, you had to recover. Oh my goodness. So it is about a nurse who is working in a hospital one day, and a man comes in with his baby, and he is an interesting man, and he is from the circus, and so he's kind of like a oddity. He's like, whoa, whatever. But the doctor does not give the baby the proper care because the man does not have the means to pay. And so this nurse, I'm completely forgetting, Ella. The nurse's name is Ella. And she wants to help this baby, but the doctor is making the man leave the hospital. So she follows him to help the baby and loses her job in the process. And it is just their story. And that's all I'm gonna say. Read this book. If you don't love it, that's your opinion, and I think it's not a good opinion, but it's your opinion, so it still matters. Love this book so much. Going to be buying a physical copy at some point because I read it on my Kindle and I need it in my hands. So. The next book I read, I also gave 5 stars. I had many 5 stars this month. Most of my reads were amazing. The Jewel of the Nile by Tessa Afshar. I loved this book. The setting, so it is biblical fiction, set in the time, what is this set in? So you get kind of like a flashback at the beginning, which is in AD 31, so like the time of Jesus. Nothing is mentioned. That's just basically the prologue, and then the main story happens 25 years later. And oh my goodness, it's about a girl on a quest to find her father, and she is half Egyptian, half Roman, so she stands out and she's not accepted or loved by her family. Her family takes care of her, but let me fix this. I don't know if that's better, but whatever. So she thinks her father is dead. Her mother is also dead. She finds out her father is alive and she wants to find him, and it's her journey finding him. There is like mention of Paul in here. Paul, like the Apostle Paul, is not actually in the story, but his name is mentioned. Like some of the main characters in this book know the Apostle Paul. Philip is part of the story a little bit, and I just thought it was so interesting. I haven't read much biblical fiction at all, but I really enjoyed this, and I'm excited to read more of Tessa Afshar's writing. And the last book is The Sword of Truth by Gilbert Morris. I started another Gilbert Morris series, and I really love this one. I give it 5 stars. I also just highlighted and all of the things. This is about a young boy who his mother dies, and it's like this whole thing, and he is like basically a servant, and he doesn't know who his father is. His mother never told him until his mother dies. His father is contacted, and he basically gets reunited with his father and his now adoptive mother, and it's his story, and it is set during the period when King Henry VIII ruled England. And so there is a bunch of like, William Tyndale is a big part of this. So like the translation of the Bibles in England when it was illegal, and like he's involved in that. And so I think I'm butchering how to explain this, but I really enjoyed this, and I'm excited to continue the series. I love the colors. It's really glaring because I'm right close to a window, but yeah, I loved Miles, and the woman he marries. Not gonna tell you who though, so. The stack is looking a little better than last month's $2. So anyways, this is the stack. Very happy with what I got done in March. April is off to a great start, and I'm gonna give you just a little teaser for next month. So in my next wrap up, it's gonna be a little bit different. My sister Morgan is going to be joining me, and we have decided to choose each other's books all month, not including my nonfiction, my Christian nonfiction. I am choosing that and reading according to my will where the Christian nonfiction is concerned. But our like joy reads, our novels and what have you, we are going to be choosing. So I've already finished the first book she chose for me, and it's off to a great start. Let's just say that. So look forward to next month. She is also going to be joining me in the wrap up, and she's going to be giving her April wrap up. So April is going to be busy. We have so many things going with the ministry here in Colorado, and we have a trip planned for going back home for a conference, and I'm so excited. I don't know what all other videos are coming this month. I'm hoping to upload a book haul soon after this video goes live, so stay tuned for that because I bought a lot of books in March. So, but I'm going to stop talking now and say see you next time. Talk to you in my next video, and happy reading. Bye.